Yeah. So welcome to today class, and today we are going to discussing about exception handling. So exception handling on the Spring Boot microservice, RESTful services on our REST API. So Spring Boot and MySQL, we are backend as a MySQL. Along with we are using Spring Data also. So that we are saving, we are already written some APIs in this microservice application. So till now we did all positive validations, all positive way of retrieving data and saving data and deleting data. Those kind of CRUD operations we did, but we did not do any validations or any exception handling mechanism. So now the today we came to the class which we can discuss about the exception handling. So what kind of exception handling we are going to do? So exception handling in the sense we can completely write a custom exception, or we can completely use a Spring enabled exception handling. But if you are using completely custom exception, we may lose the some of the features are provided by the Spring framework. So if we are using a completely custom Spring enabled exception handling, maybe somewhat we have a somewhat we need some custom related changes to give the better format of exception messages to the front end people. So client. So to combining these two, we are designing our exception handling in a better way. So that is what we are going to do now. So we are using custom exception handling, as well as Spring enabled exception handling. So what are the components are involved in this exception handling, and what is Spring provided components, and what is our custom exception components, we are going to see now. Got it? You got the context of this class, right?
Yes, Raju.
Okay, fine. So
Yes.
let me open the class. First of all, our exception handling class. Okay, sorry, project. So let me close all. So for the exception handling, first of all, we need to check format XML. So Spring Data Starter JPA we need. Why? Because we are connecting a database, MySQL database, and we are using a RESTful API, Spring Boot RESTful API to the, so that we need a Spring Boot Starter web file, and we are connecting a MySQL database, so that we need a MySQL connector, and we are using and we are using this starter validation also we need this one. Why it is needed, I will tell you. And these are the Swagger related things. So okay, one is the validation, one is the only validation we are adding. Fine. And coming to properties files, coming to application properties files. Simply we are connecting to the JDBC MySQL database with the local host of 3036 of a MySQL database use port number with respect to the schema. Fine. So this is already we did as part of MySQL CRUD operations. Fine. So coming to just I'm commenting out this uh, statement. Otherwise, our existing records will be deleted. Fine. So coming to project structure. So if you open the entity, entity is the employee entity where we have a schema as well as table name. And now I added validation. We need validations, right? So we need business validations as well as exception validations also. So simply if it is a registration page, or if it is a post, if I am doing a post operation. So in the post operation, which means entire object will be I am passing ID and name and first name and last name and all. So I need to instead of a single one field, I need to define what are the mandatory fields of whatever the mandatory fields I am thinking based on my requirement. Hey, for this requirement, first name is the mandatory, last name is the mandatory, department is the mandatory, and email is the mandatory. So address is not a mandatory. That is the reason I'm not putting not empty annotation. So at the rate not empty of message we can give. Email must not be empty. Whatever that error related, exception related, or validation related message we can define. So this one not empty, and department must not be empty or null. Both are we can give. So at the rate not empty, and the last name must not be empty. Likewise, first name must not be empty. Like that, we can define our own uh, our sorry, our own custom exception messages. So all these messages we will get at a time only whenever we are not passing the values. Fine. So coming to uh, coming to services. Coming to services, you know, services you already know. One is the save employee, one is the get employee. Simply these two only. I am having these two functions only. By applying save for the saving, I need to check all the fields of the employees whether we are passing or not. And get employee, I need to check if the record is not coming, what type of exception we are going to throw. We will see now. Fine. So remaining all are same. A repository, you know, employee repository having a employee repository at the repository. It is extended by the JP repository. This is already we discussed about as part of uh, MySQL cloud operation. Fine. And coming to service simple also, you know. So here if it is a null, I'm writing a custom exception. I'm writing a custom exception. How we are going to create a custom exception? I will show you. First of all, I need to open the errors or exception package. So this is the exception package. Here we have a custom exception. Let me close our remaining one. Yeah. Here I'm having a custom exception, and here one more thing is the custom exception handler. So see, this is the custom exception. Extend the exception. Exception or runtime exception. Anything we can write, but the runtime exception is the recommended to write instead of exception. The exception will take care about the checked exception, runtime exception, and runtime exception will handle the only runtime exceptions only. Obviously, we will create an exception runtime so that I will change this as a runtime exception. Fine. So now see, in the custom exception, what we are going to pass when we are creating custom exception. Simply, I need some message and I need some status. Message in the sense what kind of exception. Status in the sense what is the HTTP status for this particular exception I need to provide. So whenever I'm creating a custom exception, I need to provide a message as well as I need to provide the status of a particular exception. If it is a empty ID is null, I need to send a bad request. We have a HTTP status codes. So for the standard HTTP status code, for example, for the created, if it is a post created, right, 201. If it is a get successful, 200. Like that, for the negative scenarios also, we have a standard HTTP status codes. So if you go this inside this, here it has see here 201 processing, 202, 102 processing. So like that 200, okay, 201 created, 202 accepted. Accepted in the sense payment related things we can use this. So whenever we are processing a payment, it is accepted. So at the time we will use 202 based on the scenario, and like that 204 no content. For the delete operations we can use, so no content. So like that these are the two series. And coming to 400 series. 400 series bad request. So whenever you are passing a improper data to the particular API, when we need to validate, and based on the validate we can pass the bad request. So like that unauthorized 402 and 404 not found. If you are passing a 100 as a employee ID, if you are not having a record for the 100 employee ID, at that time you can get the you can pass the 404 resource not found. So like that we have a different status codes in this HTTP status, so that based on the exception I will pass message as well as status. Fine. This is the custom exception. Okay.
Raju, one doubt. Where you have kept this custom exception file in say?
Correct, exactly. Custom exception class, just a simple Java class, and created a one package. Exception handler dot errors or exception. Here I'm putting. Yeah. So this is where in an exception package I'm putting this one. Okay. Got it? So why we need custom exception and what is the purpose of custom exception? I mentioned here. Don't confuse when I'm debugging. You will know. And the custom exception handler.
Okay.
So this is the custom exception handler, and this is the response entity handler. So this is the framework related handler. This is the framework related handler. So for the if we want to get the properties from this behavior of this response entity exception handler, you need some class. That class should be extended by this one. So then only whatever the behavior of this class we will be getting. Why? Because this is the inheritance concept. Whenever we are extending our B class to A class, so all the A class properties will be available in a B class. So like that. So we are getting the properties and the behavior of this response entity exception handler, which is given by the Spring Framework exception. Sorry, response entity. Spring Framework web servlet. So web servlet in the sense whatever the request we are passing and response as part of request and response part, it will take care of all the exceptions. So that we extended our custom exception handler. Fine. So here I used @controller advice. What is this @controller advice? Here I used only two annotations. One is @exception handler. One is @controller advice. So @controller advice is nothing but the job of this @controller advice, or the responsibility of this @controller advice will catch exceptions wherever you created an exception throughout the application. So for example, you are created exception in a controller class. For example, you are created an exception in based on your conditions. You are created an exception in service IMPL. So or you are created in some other utility class. So all the classes wherever you are created in exception classes, you can simply throw. So new custom exception, throws exception. So using throws we can throw. So whenever we are throwing an exception, the @controller advice will look where the exceptions are throwing. So all the exceptions will catched by the controller advice, and it will catch and it will give the @exception handler annotation. Hey, exception handler, I have some exception. You need to handle that. So like that, we have a custom exception. So obviously, we are creating a custom exception in our classes wherever we required. Why? Because we already have a custom exception class, right? So wherever it is required, we are going to create a custom exception class. Simply we are throwing from creation place. So controller advice will catch that exception, and it will delegate to this exception to this exception handler. So this exception handler will handle the each individual exception which is given by the controller advice, or which is propagated by the controller advice. So now, so at that time we will get the exception. So what is the exception? Here it is exception constructor is there. In the constructor we can pass, while creating pass message and as well as status. So here exception dot get message we will have, exception dot get message we will have, and exception dot get status we will have at the same time, and the details and errors. So here the error response is a simple custom class where I want to create my error response format. So here it is some other custom class or simple Java class. Whenever I'm sending a response to the error response to the front end, my error response format should be like this. Like this I defined. If you want, you can define in your own way. For this application, I defined like this: status code I need, message I need, details I need. So like that I mentioned. So whenever we are having a here exception as well as exception status code, simply you can create a error response class. You can put the details here simply. So details and error message details. Fine. So here I'm creating a list of details. So list of details and error response I'm creating. Error dot status code. Status code is coming from here. Error dot set message. A message is coming from here. And details dot add. Details dot add list of strings, right? So I'm adding these messages and sorry, details I'm adding. So as well as I also add passing these errors to this response entity. So new response entity of object, whether it is it will go to the error object. So this is what custom exception related. If I am passing the request, for example, if you see here controller, if you see here, I will tell you each and everything while debugging, no issue. So first of all, understand what we are doing. @validate request body employee object we are passing. So in that employee object, we have some exception related annotations, right? So that whenever you are using @validate, so Spring Framework will take care of to handle method arguments. So this method argument, right? This is the method, and employee object is a method argument. So we are validating by using @validate @validate annotation, so that we in the custom exception handler we have a handled method arguments not valid. Not valid in the sense, if you are passing the empty or null values, it is comes under not valid. So if you go here, so many methods are there. So these many kind of exceptions we can handle. So in out of this here, it's see method arguments not allowed exception is there. So this is what we overrided there. This is what we using there. This is what we overrided. If you want remaining exceptions based on your scenario, based on your requirement, you can use all these exceptions in this class along with our custom exception, so that we are using custom exception as well as framework enabled exception, and also framework enabled exception entity response entity exception handler we are taking to handle our all custom exceptions where we are creating throughout the project. It will catch by the framework given annotation, and it will handled by the framework given handler our custom exceptions, and we are preparing the response. Here also we are preparing the response, but here we are not catching. Framework will catch the if we are passing method arguments are null. By default, it will catch and it will generate. Here we are writing these related messages. Fine. So let me run the project, and let me open the controller. See the controller we are using only two APIs only. One is the post mapping, one is the get mapping. So that based on this we can get the exceptions. Apart from that, here, okay, this is the request body, right? So if it is the request body, the framework will take care of that. Why? Because here you already mentioned @valid. If it is a variable, so based on the employee ID, you are getting an employee record. At that time, you are the responsible person to validate this employee ID is empty or null. For that reason, I return employee request validation util. This is the utility class where we can validate input parameters of our controller APIs. So whatever we are passing in input parameters to this API, in this util I am going to validate. So if it is a normal Java class, right? So it should be treated as a Spring component, so that you can define at that Spring component. Then only it is eligible for auto-wide. So that we did auto-wide here. So it should be Spring Bean or Spring related. If you want to make your normal Java class as a Spring related, Spring enabled component, you need to use one of the annotation from the Spring framework. But here it is the simple related component I defined, so that it is enabled as a Spring Bean, so that we can auto-wide anywhere in our application. Fine. So how we can check here? See, validate employee ID, long ID we are getting. So here is the throws custom exception. Here it is. I'm checking whether it is a 0 or less than 0. If I am passing 0 is invalid, right? So in that case, you need to create an exception. Throw new. Here is a throw and throws. Here we are using a throw and throws. Always throw is using to create a new exception or exception class. So throws is using whatever we are creating here. Simply we can throws here. So that is what the difference between throw and throws. Throws will always come method signature. This is the method signature. Along with the method signature, throw will come within the method body. Inside the if condition or inside the catch block. Anywhere we can create, wherever it is required. Fine. So whenever we are creating a new custom exception, it is expecting some message, right? It is expecting some message. If you see here, message and status of this constructor. So I'm creating a constructor. So employee ID should be positive number if it is a less than 0. Like that, you can send a dynamic message as well as the respect to HTTP status of this exception. So what kind of this exception? Obviously, this exception will comes under bad request. So that I am passing a HTTP status as a bad request, right? So based on the condition, we need to add a status with respect to exception. Fine. Now I'm going to run this application in a debug mode. So debug mode. Now I'm running this application as in a debug mode. So let me run. So yeah. So debug mode. So first of all, I want to check this in a negative way. Instead of negative way, let me open what is the port number given 2021. Fine. So 2021. So let me open Swagger 2021. Fine. Employee controller. First of all, I want to check the positive way. So already whatever the record is there here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the employee ID. We have a record. Fine. So just positive response. Just I want to check positive response. Just I'm clicking here. So it will come here. So it is coming here. I want to go to inside this method. I want to go to this inside method, so that I'm putting here. So controller is coming here. So whatever it is ID, it is not a less than or equal to 0, so that it will not come inside this. So okay, fine. It will not come inside this. So it will go here. So it will go here. So now we have a record for this ID. So that employee response is not a null. So employee response is we are getting a employee response as a record. Yes. So let me go. So why we are getting a error? Internal server error, employee ID, path, internal server error, status. Let me check. Let me check one more time. Here we have new schema employee, new schema 1, 2, 3 employees, right? Employee. So what is the table name here? Let me confirm whether we are using correct database or not. So let me open employee Pozo or entity. So here I'm using employee, and the new schema 1, 2, 3 is the schema name. Fine. So let me check this database also. New schema 1, 2, 3. Fine. That is also good. This is also correct. So let me open this one. So employee. Okay, fine. Let me create one record, so that we will check. By creating a record, we will check. So try out. So I'm giving address as a Hyderabad. Just it is a debugging where we are getting a error. I want to debug. So abcd@gmail.com. First name V Kakarla, and I'm giving as a 100. So and I am passing V Kakarla. Fine. So let me open this controller, and here I'm having, okay, fine. So here I'm executing. Okay, fine. So here, so let me come here. So obviously it will save. So we are getting some exception. So what is that kind of exception? Employee underscore ID is a field list, unknown column. Okay, very good. So let me see. This is the we are wrongly defined in a employee Pozo. That is what it is saying. That is what here it is ID, but here in exception, here employee underscore ID is there, right? Table name employee underscore ID is there. So we need to change this
So in the,
employee.
Pojo class. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, employee underscore ID. So whatever the mapping is giving wrong. The employee underscore ID is there, but here we are giving a ID. So here we are giving a ID previously. Now I change. Let me stop and let me run again. So that is what the mistake we didn't solve. We didn't say that. Fine. Let me run. Whenever we are debugging, it will tell to us. So wherever we are did the mistake. Fine. So now let me create. Let me execute. Let me execute. So that again it is giving error. Unknown for employee 0 email now. Okay. Let me see. So email it is not there. Okay, this is not a employee object. Let me stop and create. It will create a new record, so that we will not get any errors. Let me open this. So it will create according to the table. So fine. So in the application, fine. So let me debug and run. The table creation is wrong. So that is the reason we are getting. Okay. So okay, fine. Now let me check. Let me refresh again. Let me refresh the thing again. Fine. Now the employee is coming. Select rows. So now we have employee ID, email, first name, last name. Yeah. Now the columns are perfect. So let me execute this one. Let me execute. So obviously this time it should execute. Yes, it is executed and successfully saved. So see, previously actually we did some examples, right? So based on that it is created. So okay, fine. We have a record now. Fine. Now I want to get the in a positive way in a record here. So let me give the 100. So you know, right? 100 is the valid one. So it will not come this if condition, and it is coming here, and it is also coming here. Let me check here. So for the 100 value, we have a record, so that we will not get a null as a response. Instead of null, we will get a employee response as an object. So I think it is gone. Huh? Okay, it is coming here. It is taking time. Okay. Let me check why it is taking time. Hundred we given. So what is this long one? Long one we given. From morning onwards, my system is open, so that might be the reason. It is slow little
Actually, there is no data with employee ID 100, right?
So 100 we have, right? We just now we saved, right? 100 record.
Okay, sorry. I didn't check it.
Yeah, 100 record is there. Just I'm checking why it is taking time. Let me
it is
stop.
taking time. Okay.
It is taking time. So let me refresh and let me run one more time. So debug, I want to run in a debug mode. So just I want to disable the debug. I want to disable the debug, and of course the values will be gone. So let me create one more time. So it is having data successfully saved. So if you see here again, we will get the data here, 100 record. So now you can get the record from the 100 record. So now you have a record. You are getting a data. So sometimes debug is mismatching. Okay. So now you are having a data. So now you want to give some 101 record. So this will be one type of exception. So here it is 1001, right? So first of all execute. First of all, I want to execute this. See here, status code 404 and message not found. Not found. What not found? Details in details you can see. Employee not found for the given ID 1001, right? So this is what we are giving in a better format of exception response. So now we will check how it is be handled by the framework. So let me debug, enable the debug. Let me enable the debug. So just I'm clicking this. I'm clicking this. I'm clicking this. Why it is not enabled? Okay, it is not run in debug mode. Let me run in debug mode. Debug mode. So first of all, stop and first of all, I want to add the record now first. So we have a successfully saved, and now we are passing as a 1001. So we don't have, right? So let me open debug. Let me open debug, and here let me open debug and controller. So here it is open, right? Let me run. So it is coming here. So 101. Obviously, it is not a null or so 0 or less than 0. Obviously, it will come here. Now I am going here. So coming here. So response is coming. Response is coming as a null. Why? Because we don't have a record for the 1001. We don't have a record for the 1001. Now this time I'm creating an exception here. So inside coming, it is coming employee ID not found for the given ID. If it is null, we are based on the condition I'm passing. And if it is a not found, right, we need to use the 404. No, not found is the status code. Now this where it will go? Why? Because we are creating, here we're throwing, right? Obviously it will go custom exception handler. It will come here. So it will come here inside this method. It will come here. If you resume this, it will come here. See, it is coming here. If you see this custom exception, we have a in this exception, we have a see, we have a status as a 404 and message as a employee ID not found given ID. Fine. So now we are preparing error response here. Error response and list of details I am adding. Why? Because in error response we have a list of details. Fine. So here I am adding the error response to the respective error format, and simply I am passing here. So that is the reason. That is the why we are getting here in this format. In this format, you can define your own format by adding this error details in this method. That is fine. Now I am passing. Now I want to pass. Now I want to pass all empty details here. This is the empty object. Simply empty object. I want to pass here. So if it is an empty object, how it will be? So how it will be? See, status code 400, message, validation failed, details, all the mandatory fields, whatever the mandatory fields we found inside this employee pozo, inside this employee entity. If you see here, entities, employee entity. So we have a not empty for the first name, we have a not empty for the last name and the department as well as email. These four all mandatory fields are coming here as part of my exception, my error details. So this is what the better format of defining exception response. So that is the
Raju,
reason.
Raju, sorry, I think I missed halfway. Raju, when can you go to this one? I mean, from the controller, inside that method, get employee.
Inside this method. Yeah.
Get, yeah. This only we were checking, right? From this method only.
No, this is already we check in. We are checking for the
we'll give through explicitly we are throwing an exception, right?
Here we are throwing exception. Yeah, we are throwing here.
Here when you come here, you go inside this custom exception.
No, here we are creating an exception, right? In the custom exception already we defined some message and status, right? So that we have a constructor. Based on the constructor, we are getting an object here. So here
Okay.
we are giving customer this error related ID, error related message we are giving. For example, if it is coming as a null, why? Because for 100 record we have a record, 100 not one we don't have record, assume. So if you are giving 100 not one as an ID, obviously you will get a null. If it is null, we are creating an exception and we are throwing here. We are throwing here. We are throwing
Okay.
here.
Into the,
So
okay.
whenever we are throwing, the response entity exception handler will be responsible to catch this exception. At the rate controller advice will take care of that. So at the rate controller advice will catch your exception here, our response entity handler. So exception handler, it is there, custom exception handler. So it will catch that the thrown exception it will catch here, and it will delegate. Already we are handling this. At the rate exception handler will take exception by exception, which will given by the at the rate controller advice, which will catch by
Okay.
the at the rate
Directly
controller
from
advice.
there, it will be throwing into the here only, right? From there,
Here only.
directly here
Correct,
only.
correct,
Okay.
exactly,
Into the
exactly.
custom exception object.
Yes,
When you come
custom
right,
exception
right,
object.
right. Okay. Can you scroll a bit? Then the request. So what are the parameters we are passing there?
Here we're passing. See, whenever we are creating an exception, if you see here, employee service INTL. Simply we are
Okay.
passing only custom exception only. Custom exception
Okay.
only.
Okay. It is
With the
okay.
help
It
of
will directly be
at the
taken.
rate, with the help of 32 line is the main key role. So at the rate exception handler of exception class, wherever we are creating and sending an exception class, automatically it will come here. Why?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we are catching at the rate exception handler is catching.
Okay. Then what is that EX object will be? Customer exception EX object.
This is the reference of this one. Reference of this one.
Okay.
You
So
need
what
to
will
you
that
need to
be?
put this whatever we are creating an exception, those values will be having this exception.
Okay.
For example,
Consider from there it is throwing some exception.
Yes.
Some pointer exception. I mean custom exception, right? From there, something you're throwing. Exception value will be handled here.
Yes, yes. Those exception values will be here in this object.
Okay.
So
what will be the exception value here, Raju? Just confused. What will be the EX value?
EX value is nothing but say not EX in the sense not EX. This is the custom exception reference. Okay, custom exception reference. You got it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
Simply, this is the custom exception. We will have this message and HTTP status here dynamically. So whatever we are getting those values, we are simply setting our error format. Error response I am preparing like this. So error format I am putting the error format of this error response class. That error response I am sending to the front end here. Like this we will get. So these values are we are getting as part of this method. As part of this method arguments null or empty. So whenever you are passing a mandatory fields, whenever you are not passing the mandatory fields of this method, automatically at the rate valid will check request body of the object. If the object is not having any values, automatically directly it will throw. We no need to throw. Framework will handle. So here we don't need to create a custom exception. Framework directly will handle method arguments not allowed exception. So that directly it will come here. Directly it will come here. Here it will we are preparing some messages and we are throwing like this. So whatever the details messages, all messages are we have in employee poser not empty at the rate not empty. So these are the mandated fields. So it will automatically collect these mandated fields and it will here in the custom exception handler see list object errors. So it is giving the object errors. Okay.
Okay. So what are the transportation we can do, Raju? If you gave not empty, right? Is there any other exception you can give? For example,
any other not empty, not blank, not blank is also there.
Okay, okay.
See, not empty, not blank, not empty, not extensible, not found, not null.
Okay.
So these are the validations we can use.
Okay. Okay.
Other than that, do you have any questions? Other questions?
No, Raju. No, Raju. Anyway, we'll go through this framework again.
Correct, correct. Yeah. See here, we are having a one custom exception class, and also one here we are giving all the not empty messages, and here is the one custom exception class. This is also, and also here one is the custom exception handler class. One is the new one, and also I'm preparing a front end error response. So whenever you go through and practice and debugging the step by step, you will understand. But the purpose of error response, the purpose of custom exception, the purpose of exception custom exception handler, I already given the information, so that whenever you are practicing this code in a debug mode, so that this is the reason I'm getting here, this is the reason I'm getting here, so that you will aware of that. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Ellen, do you have any doubts?
No, Raju. I have to go through the video and then maybe.
Correct. So you people please watch this video thoroughly, so that you will have a better understanding and better understanding way. See, for creating and getting we already did as part of MongoDB, as part of MySQL, but here we should focus on exception handling, how we are going to handle this exception, and like that. So if you are giving as a 0 here, for example, 0 or -1, -99, this will be negative, right? This will be negative. It will come as a, this is the 404, right? If you are giving a 1001, we don't have any record in the database. For example, if you are giving a negative value, what kind of exception we will get? So here, negative in the sense, obviously it will come here. It will come here. It is a kind of bad request. Here we are creating it. So once we pass here, so obviously it will catch here. Why? Because we are throwing a custom exception. That custom exception is catched here. At that exception, here we are handling that exception. So that, see, now if you see here, this object will have let me yeah, this object will have, okay, errors. So whatever we are getting a bad request, and also message and the detail message, we have a message we are setting here. So if you set like this, automatically the error response will have the respective values, and whenever we are passing here, we will get the required format of error response, right? This is what one of the standard way of defining a exception handling, as well as, see, if you want, you can put these values in your constant file, one of the constant file, and whenever you are creating an exception, here, these things you can put your constant files, so that it will be good readability. If you want to put here, it is not recommended to put in here. You need to maintain some constant files. You can move these values in a constant file. So like this, we can handle an exception handling. Got it?
Yes. Sir.
So I will upload this video in our channel, as well as I will provide the GitHub link of this code, so that you please practice that. If you are doing practice, you will be have a strong understanding. You will be have strong commanding on our each and every topics. Otherwise, every day you will be confused. At the time of class, you will understand everything, but after some days, after few days, you will forget everything if you are not doing any practice. The practice is only way to get more strong on this. Okay. Yeah, please do the practice. So if you are not doing practice, our classes will be wasted. Okay, our time will be wasted. So please do the practice whenever you are having free time. Still, if you are having any doubts, any doubts in a practice, please ping in our group. Whenever we are starting a class, first of all, I will create your doubts. Then only we will move to the class. If you are still having doubts, there is no need to start the class, right? I don't want to have any doubts from you guys. You will be understanding. You will be do the practice each and every class thoroughly. I want to
Okay.
make you people in a strong way, a right of coding and right understanding the way of standard way of writing code and standard way of designing exception handling. Like that, I want to make you people like that. Then only you will crack the interviews. Otherwise, you will not crack. You will not hit any interview. So that please be prepared and be practice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. So that I will. If you have any doubts, we can have a recall session also. Yeah. Tell me. So miss.
Sure, Raju. Raju will be uploading now, right? This video and
Yeah. Tonight only I will upload.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.